Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to take a look at lesson 7.2. It is on page 427. 7.2, 427. So please get out your math books and get there. This is one of those hands-on lessons that we're just going to jump right into it and not worry too much about the hands-on. This is also a 2-day lesson, so we will do it today and Monday. So we're only going to do half of this, and then I'm going to give you some other assignments to do when you are done. So here is the question. Martin is planting a vegetable garden. Each row is 2 meters long. He wants to plant carrots along 3/4 of each row. Now there's that word of that we talked about yesterday. That means to multiply. How many meters of each row will he plant with carrots? So it gives you that you're going to multiply 3/4 times 2. Now yesterday we could easily take 2 and divide it by the bottom number and multiply by the top. But as you can see today, that doesn't work. So we're going to take a look at another way. So they're asking us to represent this with a model. So they put 2 holes here. Sorry, let me pull that back. So they put 2 holes down there. And what they want you to do is to cut these into 4. So underneath, I'm going to draw so that there's a 4th under each one. So then you would take 3/4 of each of the 2's. So circle 3/4 of 2 of the model you drew. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can see here there are 6 that I have done. Let's take a look at a couple other things that we can do, because drawing a model sometimes gets pretty confusing. So one thing that we need to know is how can we make this look like a regular multiplication problem with fractions? So we talked about a whole of a fraction being 1/1 or 7/7 or 6/6 being the same number over that. To make a number bigger, the number has to be an improper fraction. And we were fixing those as we were going when we were adding. But to make an improper fraction and keep it the same number, you're going to put a 1 on the bottom. So if I put that 2 on the top and put a 1 on the bottom, 2/1 is just 2. Remember, a fraction bar means to divide. So if I put a 2 here and a 1, 1 divided by 2 is 2. So that is what we're going to do, is to fix this up so it looks like a multiplication problem straight across the top. Now, when we added, our bottoms had to be the same. But I told you that you were going to love chapter 7 and chapter 8 because multiplying and dividing fractions, you don't need common denominators. You can just multiply them straight across. So now we can see 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 1 is 4. So we can see that it's 6/4. Now, we can use improper fractions when we're working, but we can't leave them as improper fractions when we are actually giving an answer. So we do need to fix that by dividing. So we're going to put the 4 on the outside and the 6 on the inside. And 4 goes into 6 one time. And we subtract and we get a remainder of 2. Now, if we remember, we put that remainder on top and the bottom stays the same. So this equals 1 2/4. And I hope right now a bunch of you are saying, nope, that's not the best answer. We can simplify because 2/4 can be divided by 2 and it can be 1 1/2. So 1 1/2 is the best answer that we could have there. So taking a look, let's take a look down here. You can cross out this number 1. And I want us to go here to 3/10 of 2, which means multiply. We're going to put 2 over top of 1. I'll give you a second to set that problem up. So 3/10 times 2 over 1. And so now we're going to multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6. And 10 times 1 is 10. Now I hope you see That can be simplified. Now remember, when we're simplifying, we have to think of the numbers that we can multiply to get 6 and 10. So we're looking for the factors. So we can do 1 times 6, and we can do 2 times 3. And for 10, it's 1 times 10, and 2 times 5. And we have to find the biggest number that matches, which in this case is 2. So we can divide these by 2. Now this time we are using that form of 1 because we don't want to change our answer. We just are going to simplify it. So this would be 3/5 as my best answer. Let's keep going and look at another one. So this time they're saying we can use fraction circles. We're just going to keep going with the way that we were. We can color in their fraction models. So it says find 3 times 3/8. So place 1/8 fraction circle pieces to represent and shade the fraction circles below to show your model. So we would color in 3 of each of these. And so you can see that we have 9 of them shaded, and all of the bottoms have 8. So each circle shows 3/8 of a whole, and the 3 circles show 9/8. So 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8 is 9/8. So 3 times 3/8 is 9/8. Let's fix that fraction up for our final answer. And so 8 goes into 9 one time, and subtract, and we can get 1/8. Now you might be saying, but Mrs. Walls, that 3 is in the front and the other one was there. Remember, this is multiplication, so it's commutative property. It doesn't matter which way. Let's set it up the way with 3/1 times 3/8, so you can see, because it's multiplication, we can flip-flop those factors. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 times 8 is 8. So there you can see we still get this 1 1/8, or 9/8. So that is what I want us to take a look at. We're going to do one more, a few more here. Now they obviously have circled these for you. I want us to rewrite this problem as 5/6 times 3/1. So go ahead and write that down. Do 5 times 3 is 15, and 6 times 1 is 6. And then if you can do 15 divided by 6. Now this one is one that we haven't seen too much when we were simplifying them. Look, 6 goes into 15, not one this time, but twice. So we put a 12 here and subtract, and we get 3. So 2 and 3/6, which simplifies it down to 2.5. Let's take a look at this one. Rewrite it, please. 2/1 times 5/6. Now multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 6 is 6. And then we're going to simplify. Get rid of that improper fraction. 6 goes into 10 one time. Subtract, and I get 4. And we get 4/6. Let's take a look at how we can simplify that 4/6. To make 4, we got 2 times 2 and 1 times 4. To make 6, it's 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. So the number that matches would be 2. Now don't forget to write that whole number before you write the fraction. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. You can also use your simplifying strip that you should have. And we're going to have you try now these 3 problems. We're going to leave the rest of this page and the other page for you to do on Monday. So I will re-record the lesson and have you try some of the Go Deeper problems. I want you today, when you are done with these 3 problems, to go ahead and do think or do IXL today. We're going to leave Think Central for Monday. And then I'm going to put on a Legends of Learning activity that has to do with multiplying fractions. I hope you can see that multiplying fractions is way easier. The one thing we're going to have to do is a lot more simplifying. So keep those simplifying strips handy. Mrs. Zahner and your substitute will also help you with simplifying, I'm sure, as well. And so I hope this helps and you can see the trick, and we can use those models to help us and to see what's actually going on. But there is a way, if we just put the whole number over top of 1, make it a fraction, multiply straight across, do not need common denominators, then multiplying fractions is pretty easy. Have a great day. Remember, when you're done with these 3 problems, I want to see IXL done and then Legends of Learning.